Hey guys, T-Bull here. As you can see by the steely gaze of Anton Gurin on the screen, I got a game in the Gremyashchy for you. You'll notice I got Swirsky as the inspiration. I have a high level babe, higher level than Swirsky for sure. So judging from that, you can tell I haven't looked at this build lately, because Babe would be the better choice if you're going to try and increase the concealment. But I like to show the build of the game that I play on the screen whenever possible, just to kind of give you guys the info. But this isn't an optimal build for that if you see this in the future once the Russian DDs are fully released. Gremyashchy, for those of you that don't know, is a Russian destroyer. It's tier 4. It was available in the Founders Edition. Why am I showing this? Or why am I featuring a Gremyashchy after not featuring it for a while? Two reasons. Number one, we got ranked. In a week, there'll be a season, or a tier 4 season of ranked. And a lot of you players probably haven't seen the Gremyashchy, much if at all, in your games, because it is pretty rare. It was the most expensive Founders Edition pack it came in, and then, there's been so many premiums and a lot of times gone by since they sold it that you're not going to see the ship every day by any means. Number two, they rebranded it along with the other Founders Edition FE, and they've begun to sell these ships. Initially, it was just called Gremyashchy. Now it's called Gremyashchy FE. Same thing with the Arkansas. Same thing with the Iwaki. They've rebranded those. They've sold them again. So I think it's possible, if not probable, that this will be available in the store in the future. My guess would be relatively near future, but you never know with these type of things. But anyway, I thought this game was kind of interesting, not only to take a look at the Gremyashchy, but I want to talk about when to push capture the base modes in destroyers. I see people trying to do this all the time, and it's not necessarily a bad play, because you're going to, if you can sneak through the lines and get on their cap, you're going to get points just for sitting on there. Even if it's contested, you get points stacking up. And then if it becomes a close game and it comes down to the score, you can win just by spending time in the cap. So it's not a bad play for destroyers to be looking for, but you need to be looking for the right conditions. So we'll talk about that here. Here we do launch kind of a preemptive torp salvo, get the first blood on that guidey that was kind of going over there. Now basically what's the deal with Gremyashchy? I think they're holding off on releasing these Soviet destroyers because I think the reasoning's the same as the British cruisers. They're higher skilled ships. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I never played the PC, but that's my impression just playing this one ship. When the game was brand new and everyone sucked, this ship was quite dominant, I thought, at least playing it. As you can maybe see if you look at my older videos on the ship. But now that there's a lot more accomplished destroyer players out there, this thing cannot duel destroyers very easily. It's got extremely slow turret traverse, so it's not designed to do that. It's kind of like a cruiser without a citadel is how I try and play it. But we're not going to talk about a whole lot about it. Here, what you can see, I'm deciding to attack this cap, and the reason was this. I spawned on the west. I'm kind of responsible for these guys on the west, but they're sailing away from me. Now to attack ships that are sailing away from you as a destroyer, it's kind of just a waste of time because you can't torp them very effectively, and I can't rush into these guys and start gunning them down. They can easily destroy my ship. So because of the people that I'm responsible for, I kind of leave me alone, and they're creating distance between them and the cap, their potential to defend it. Then I analyze the eastern side, and they're kind of beating my team over there in terms of ships at least. But they're kind of all spread out, and none of them are pointing towards the cap. None of them are lingering over here. So at this point in time, I identify this as a situation to get on the cap and potentially put some points on board. This early in the game, with the ship counts the same, I'm not thinking, alright, I'm here to win the game by capturing this. It's very hard to capture the base this early because ships can usually turn around and get back to you. But what I'm trying to do is get a lot of points, or as many points as I can. And I'm going to be ready to leave the cap as soon as need be. And I think I end up leaving the cap here at some point. But right now we're just kind of trying to slow these guys down. No, these guys, they're not explicitly coming back here yet. This Pensacola seems to be turning around to work on the cap. But the guys that I was primarily responsible for at the beginning of the game, i.e. the guys in the northwest, they're not coming back to defend. So my side that I keep saying I'm responsible for them, I need to make sure they're not affecting the outcome of the game. And basically they're sailing off into the netherworld and they're making themselves irrelevant. That's why I don't feel a responsibility to deal with those guys. Now here you can see we got a double salvo at this Texas. He was backing up dealing with the guys on my team to the south, but he kind of continued to back up as predicted by the indicator. And we actually ended up clubbing him pretty hard. Hit him, and he gone! So put him on the ground. There's the Mutsuki. He kind of outspotted me again. That's partially because I was running Swirsky level 11 instead of Bay level 16. So, you know, unless that's a player with a high level commander, I should probably be able to outspot him with the ship. But we kill him as well, get the double strike. And basically, again, we're just fending off the challenge to the base. They're trying to defend the base. But you'll see here, I think I leave at this point. My intention was never to win the game by capping there. If it happened, it happened. But trying to cap, you know, this isn't a situation, at least when I got on the cap, it wasn't a situation that I identified as likely to be able to cap and win. No, we got on there to get points, draw back those guys, draw anyone in, because, again, the people all that I was responsible for sailing away from me, and they're still, you know, this guy's kind of coming back now at this point, but these guys took themselves out of the game and basically allowed us to pressure them by getting on the cap, kill the people that came back to defend it, and by the time these guys decide to get their head out of their rears, the game's already over for all intents and purposes. So these are kind of the situations where, as you gain experience and as you think about game situations, that was a situation I identified to get on the cap and, you know, pressure that team. I don't tend to advocate attacking enemy caps very early on in the match unless, you know, a rare situation arises such as that. I think people that attack the cap, especially if you get like a campaign going and you got a bunch of people trying to do it too, you know, because they keep getting capture the base modes when they're trying to get domination modes games. You can see when you're trying to do that, it's not a very effective strategy to force a cap like that. But if you're looking for opportunities to attack the cap, again, mainly to get points, but once in a blue moon, if they don't bother to come back to defend it, then, you know, just sit on it and win the game. If they don't care about winning, then you might as well just take it from them. But again, a lot of that comes from experience. Now, getting back to the Gremmy, I think the ship is good still. Like I say, I think it has a unique playstyle, but it is one of the tier 4 destroyers right now that has a really comfortable torp to concealment rating, which allows you to stealth torp, but I think it's kind of primarily focused to be a gunboat. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you did like it, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. A lot of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions for me, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.